Hello everybody, welcome to Savage Ink Studios. I'm your host Ink, and thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers. That's awesome. I had put up a poll because we were coming up on 300 to see what you guys wanted to see as a 300 subscriber special, and the overwhelming vote was for a art challenge and story time, but only one person suggested a challenge, and they suggested the 10 style challenge. In today's video, I'm only doing 5 of 10, and if you can tell, it's really rushed anyway, because it takes me a really long time to draw stuff, so just doing 5 of them took, a really long time to record and trying to smoosh it into a small video. So I'm doing 5 traditional artists on this first one, and then I'll do another one of 5 digital artists. If you're interested in being a featured artist whose style I try to emulate in the digital art one, I have a journal for you to post an entry or whatever on my DeviantArt. So if you want to check that out, yeah. So I guess I'll just talk about the people that I picked for this video and why I picked them. So I want to do a shout out, I guess, to an honorable mention to Emily Artful, who I really wanted to put on this list, but I didn't. Her style is entirely, I feel like, defined by how she watercolors, and all of her pieces and imagery have really different looks, even though her watercolor technique is what makes her style, and I don't know how to emulate that, so I didn't put her on here. So the first person that I picked is Drawing with Waffles. She's another art YouTuber. I'm sure all of you know who she is. I watch her channel regularly. I like watching her draw, and so I decided to check out her stuff and try and figure out what makes her style for the most part. She's the one thing. This first one is the only one that has any body in the image at all. And that's because Drawing with Waffles has this crazy expressive style where the flow of the poses and the way that she poses her characters just brings so much life to them, that I think that's part of her style in and of itself, is just how fun and alive she makes her characters with her poses and stuff. But the rest of the ones after her are just busts. I really I didn't get to go all into detail. I'd like to try to do an actual video where I'm just focusing on one artist and trying to emulate that one artist's style, instead of trying to do 5 in 1 and rushing through it, because I know I missed a lot in the Drawing with Waffles style. She's got this great way of highlighting and shading, and she always adds really cool backgrounds and stuff, and I didn't have time. I kept on looking at the clock while I was doing these pieces and knew that I just did not have enough time to go all out for any of these. As an end result, I think I did okay on the Drawing with Waffles style. I don't know if it's recognizable as the type of thing in the style that she would draw. But I think it turned out okay. I think the only one out of all of these artists that I absolutely botched was the fourth one, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So yeah, that's why I picked Drawing with Waffles. I'm sorry, normally I pre-record my voice and then I edit my video to match the length of time that I was talking. But for this one, I only wanted to it took me different lengths of time to do each style, so I wanted to talk over each box about the artist that I was emulating. So it's a little not scripted in the way that it normally is, I guess. Alright, so the next one is Casey Golden. She's also a YouTube artist. I can't say that I ever imagined myself emulating her style. she's got this like really round, bubbly, soft, um, facial type of style, but then like the clothing is like really flat and angular, is what I noticed when I tried to like look at some of her artwork to get an idea of what I was gonna do. Um, so I think that's like a really interesting contrast between like her hair doesn't have like real hard edges in a lot of her pieces. They look more like bubbles. And then the clothing I had noticed has like these really sharp angles and is like it almost looks like it's part of the skin. Um, so I kind of tried to do that, but I don't think that I did great. Um, I also don't think that I was able to totally get her color style down because I feel like she uses like a sort of muted color palette. Everything sort of looks like it's got this grayish filter over it, if that makes any sense. Like, the colors just don't seem super bright, and unfortunately, like, I only have 3 red markers, so, and none of them are, like, particularly muted, so, yeah. I have only just recently started to sort of watch Casey Golden's videos. I think it was in my recommended, her 7 Deadly Sins challenge. And I know that she does do digital art a lot, but I needed some people for my traditional art, so I noticed that she does also do traditional art. So I decided to try and do that. And also, her digital art looks kind of like traditional art. Like, I feel like the brushes. Sorry about that. I feel like the brushes that she uses when doing digital art almost look like pencil lines. So her work looks traditional even when it isn't, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, that was. I thought it was interesting, and I picked her too. So, moving on to the next one, I'm not sure if anyone will know who this is. Um, when I started getting really into art at like 11 or 12 and like really wanting to improve, um, their name was Altala Matox. But in recent years, they've changed their name to Puka Doodle. So I would really, really strongly recommend that you guys look up Puka Doodle on DeviantArt because this artist has been like someone that I've looked up to for a really, really long time. Now, most of Puka Doodle's colored pieces are colored digitally. However, she does, she, I really don't know actually. They do sketch dumps that you can see were done in pencil, and those were the pieces that like really really inspired me and made me want to be better and made me want to get into like character design. And I have just been over the moon for this artist's work for a really really long time, and I love their style. They have a couple different styles and I love them all, and they make it look so easy, and then you try to emulate what they do and it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And like even more than her characters that I love, they make this like I don't know why I assume it's a girl, but they make this awesome mixture of like I think they did a turtle and a teapot mushed together into one thing, and they just do them as like scribble doodles, and they're so cool and adorable, and I love them so much. Alright, so moving on to the next person. This is the one that I botched. Bad, bad. Apple Mint. So when I Googled her username to try and get some solid pictures of their style to try and go off of, I realized I had written this list of people that I wanted to do for the challenge a couple of days ago, and I don't know what I was thinking putting Applemint down. She's another art YouTuber, and I guess her style is really heavily like anime inspired, and I have never been good at anime styles at all, so I completely butchered this. I mean, her work is gorgeous and the lighting is incredible. I mean, that flawless from white faded out into the colors for the shines and whatever, and the shading is amazing, and the way that she blends her markers is just absolutely fantastic. And I can't anime. Like, I don't know what I was thinking putting an anime type artist on my list, because I cannot anime at all. So, yeah, this one turned out really bad. I feel like I must have been looking at the screen when I was drawing this picture and not actually the paper, because I could have sworn while I was making it that the eyeball on that one side was not as big and obnoxious in comparison to the other one as it actually was, and it just looks all sorts of wonky, and that was not intentional at all. Um, so yeah, I tried. I failed hard, but I tried. I don't like watch any anime or anything. Um, so I'm not exposed to it all the time, and I'm not super duper into the anime stuff. I think mostly because the high pitched voices give me a headache when you try and watch the shows and whatever. So, yeah, my attempt, my failure, it didn't work out. But, and I can't even honestly say that I'm going to try and get better, because anime really isn't what I do at all. And I don't think that it's what I want to do. Like, I like, especially for like, if I'm going to draw myself, I have really kind of pronounced features. I've got a, a my nose is relevant on my face. You know, it's not just not there. um, I wouldn't say I have like a huge nose or anything, but I've got, this round bald nose, I guess, and people make note of it. So I make sure that it's, a prominent piece of the drawing when I'm in it, because I have a specific shaped nose. It's not a normal nose. And anime doesn't really do noses. They either do like really tall triangles in the middle of the face, or they just do a little dot in the middle of the face that's shaded, and for that. And also, I don't think that most of anime eyes, I think, look mostly the same, unless it's like child, regular, and then villain, or like hot dude. But they're all too similar, you know. Um, so yeah, I attempted, because I think that her artwork is gorgeous, but I don't think I did a very good job. Um, the next one up is going to be Danica Sills. There's going to be a pause in the video because I went to try and find my watercolors and then realized that they were in the room where Jude was sleeping, and I didn't want to like wake him up trying to pull it all out. So I just did a pencil sketch that I tried to do in Danica Sills style. She does definitely have an extremely defined style even without her coloring. But I think that the way that she watercolors also kind of just pulls the whole thing together. So when you see something that she's made, you know that she made it. Not just because of the line art, but also because of her watercolor style. But she does have enough of the same style in her line art that you could see that it is like recognizably her, even if her piece wasn't colored. So I decided to give it a shot with just a pencil sketch of her style, which, I mean, I think I did okay. She's like this really incredible professional artist, you guys. She's a YouTube artist also, so I would highly, highly recommend checking her out, because her work is just mind-bogglingly awesome. I mean, I love it so much. Like, I die inside a little bit when I watch her videos, because I wish that I could do what she does, and she makes it look so easy. But yeah, so definitely check her out. And yeah, I apologize that it ended up like me kind of scribbling through it. I made this when I was really late at night. I worked all day. I was super tired, and I'm not gonna lie, I just kind of wanted to like do it and get it over with. So, yeah, that was 5 out of the 10 style challenge. This was the traditional end of it, and I will be posting another video at some point of digital artists, but I'm only going to be doing, because these were all larger artists that I knew and that are popular. For my digital art, I'm only going to be doing digital artists that follow me. So if you want to go to my journal and, submit an entry so that maybe you'll be on the digital art 5-piece challenge thingy, then that's cool. Also, I am going to be changing things up just a little bit at the end of every video. I'm going to be putting up a page for the fan art that's been made, just to give an extra shout out to those who are making fan art. So thank you guys so much. Check out these artists, they're fantastic. Alright, you guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, you know where to put them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you again.